There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You watching Casino is the Name, and this video was inspired by a conversation that I had with my son. So basically, my son is infatuated with the idea of being a rapper, and a lot of people think what they see is, you know, what it is, right? They see a lot of money in videos, they see cars, they see people having fun. We see athletes, we know that they make big money and things like that. And so it is easy for the general public who don't know what's really going on and don't really know what real money is to think that that is the, I guess, the top of the food chain. And it is so far from the truth. And we were talking about, you know, the fact that he identifies with the fact that a lot of accountants, because I'm an accountant, and so he was asking me about, you know, why I chose accounting and how far can accounting take you, and things like that. And he was asking me about if accountants, so he identifies with the fact that accountants can make much more than rappers can. But he was wondering, could accountants make more than basketball players? Like, you know, but he said it sarcastically, right? He was like, yeah, but do they make more than basketball players? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what? You know, like, huh? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I said, yeah, the richest basketball player versus the richest CPA, or certified public accountant, it's not close. It's not even, so, matter of fact, just for an example, Michael Jordan is the richest basketball player currently living. He has about an estimated $1.7 billion. Yes, he has more money than Magic Johnson, and LeBron, and Kobe Bryant, and all those people. So he has an estimated $1.7 billion net worth. All right, so richest rapper is Jay-Z, and with Beyonce, they were estimated, last I looked, was like 1.1 billion or something. So the richest CPA, or certified public accountant, is Phil Knight. He is worth 33 billion. Let me double check. $33.5 billion is the last estimation that I saw. So he's right around 33 times, but we'll say 30 times bigger than Michael Jordan. And it's not even really close, right? Like, that's not close. If you're 33 times bigger than somebody, that's not close at all. We're not talking about 2 or 3 times big. We're talking like 33x. So with him being the, I guess, like CEO or something like, so Phil Knight is like the CEO or owner of Nike, one of the people who started Nike, and Michael Jordan actually got a large part of his net worth from his deals, or his started business from his dealings with Nike. So not only is the richest CPA or accountant 30 times richer than Michael Jordan, he actually helped Michael Jordan get to where he is. You know, LeBron James being on that list, you know, he's also has a deal with Nike. So a large part of their net worth is just tied to an accountant, just tied to the richest accountant. And the financial sector, let's like be all the way clear here. The financial sector makes many times more millionaires and billionaires than rap, than sports, and we're talking about NFL, NBA, whatever. They don't make as many millionaires and billionaires as the financial sector. So just to be clear about that, right? And you know, I brought up David Tepper making $3 billion in 1 year. That's still in the financial sector. And this is, part of it is the reason that, of course, finance just has more money in it, but learning accounting, learning economics, learning finance, accounting is the language of business. So it allows you to understand business on a much greater level versus making a bunch of mistakes or not quite understanding a deal, and just being able to understand the terms of business. A lot of rappers get stuck in bad deals. Even if they are generating a lot of money, not a lot of them not a lot of them have the best deals or had the best situation or even understood. They were just living, they were spending, they was living the life, but not understanding about investing in the past. And so it is very important that we learn, especially for my community. I'm going to say our community. I don't know what your community is, but coming from my community, a lot of our way out is through music, through sports. You know, that was the stigma, at least. That was our, oh, we're out of the hood. But a lot of people return back, and sometimes even in a worse situation, because they didn't know how to manage their money. They didn't know what all of the points on their album meant. They didn't know, understand contracts. They didn't understand management fees. They didn't understand any of those things. And they spent like, you know, the money was going to last forever. The worst part for athletes is, they said, well, I don't know if it's still true today, because I hope that it's getting much better, but at one point in time they said 80% of all athletes, or at least maybe football players, were broke within the first 2 years of leaving the NFL. And that is crazy. We're talking about people who made $100 million, $36 million, and within 2 years of that, they're broke. Within 2 years, they're broke. And that is, and the worst part of it is, when you're an athlete, that is your youth, right? Like, unlike most of us professionals, say if you were an accountant or you were somebody in IT or whatever it is, the least amount of money is made, the least amount of money that you're going to make in your career is made usually in the beginning of your career. You start making more money as you progress along, more experience. You go from 30,000 to 50,000 to 60,000 to 100,000 to 200,000 to 400,000 as time progresses, right? But in the world of, you know, for athletes and entertainers, usually the most money is made in their youth, right? Especially in, you know, being an athlete. Between, say, 22, or say, well, just because of the NBA, we'll go a little younger. Let's say 19 to 35. That 15-year span is where you make your money. When you're 40, you're not going to get the max deal that you got, you know, because you're not going to be able to play another 20 years or 15 years. So you have to make the most amount of your money in that first 15 years. The latter part of your career, usually athletes they're going to see a dramatic, you know, price cut, because they're no longer playing for a team when they go out into the world. So they have to learn how to brand themselves in that time frame in order, or find some kind of way to transition into a career where maybe they still make some money, but not nowhere close to the amount of money that they made. Versus the rest of society makes the least amount of money in their life, and they progress and they continue to go up, right? So if you're 50 years old and you're an executive, 60 years old, you're probably making, you know, the most money that you ever made in your life, and you've had time to grow with your money. Versus the, you know, athletes and things like that, when they leave and they become sports announcers and things like that, they're not making the kind of money that the players are making. That's just not how that goes, right? So you have to kind of like reprogram the way that you think. When LeBron James leaves the NBA, he has to figure out ways for him to make as much money or more money, or just or make the money that he's making now work for him for the rest of his life. And very few people will actually be able to transition that way. So it's relatively interesting to see. And accounting and finance, that finance sector, these people are making millions and billions of dollars. And not everyone, because there's levels to everything, right? But I'm just saying that the opportunity for you to do that, like, there are going to be more millionaires and billionaires made through the financial sector than it will be in the draft. It's just what it's going to be, right? Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. I just want you guys to start thinking differently about the things that you see, the things that you hear. Rappers, you know, very few rappers are going to be Jay-Z, who are going to be 50 years old and still able to sell out arenas. I ain't going to say sell out arenas, but I mean make a lot of money, make as much money from their music as they were generating in their 20s and 30s, you know, because even 30 at a period of time seemed to be old. But now that gap is, that lane is starting to spread out. But Jay-Z is not going to make as much money with his new song as the new hot kid coming out of Brooklyn or coming out of Atlanta or something like that. So it's good that he's able to show that you can make money in other areas outside of just music, because he is in business outside of just music. And so artists, athletes, and things like that, they're going to need that branding to make money outside of what their core audience is, or their core industry is. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, subscribe, share this video if you find value in it. Chill. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. It's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.